Most people think of hell as a chaotic pit of fire where everyone is equal in their suffering. But according to centuries of demonology and the grim writings of the 16th century, the underworld is actually a highly organized kingdom. It is ruled by a council of 7 beings so powerful that they don't just punish the soul. They personify the very sins that lead us to the dark in the first place. These are the 7 princes of hell. Today, we are going deeper than ever before into the hierarchy of the pit, uncovering the history, the powers, and the terrifying appearances of the lords of the 7 deadly sins. If you think you know who runs the show downstairs, you're in for a surprising truth. Welcome back to Legends and Lore. We begin at the pinnacle of the hierarchy with Lucifer. In the classification of Peter Binsfeld, Lucifer is the Prince of Pride. His name literally means light bringer or morning star, and his story is perhaps the most famous tragedy in all of mythology. Lucifer wasn't born a monster. He was the highest of all angels, the most beautiful and the most beloved. But his beauty became his blind spot. Lucifer believed he could outshine his creator. He led a rebellion of 1/3 of the heavenly host, only to be cast down into the abyss. In demonology, Lucifer isn't just a ruler. He is the personification of the ego. He represents the sin of pride because he believes his own light is greater than the source. When you see him in your mind, don't imagine a red goat. Imagine a king with shattered wings, still wearing a crown of cold iron, forever looking upward at the light he can never reach again. Next, we encounter Mammon, the prince of greed. While Lucifer wants your soul to bow, Mammon wants your hands to grab. In the Middle Ages, Mammon was feared as a physical deity of wealth. The name itself comes from the New Testament, where it is used to describe the corrupting influence of riches. Lore tells us that even in heaven, before his fall, Mammon was always looking down at the golden floor rather than up at the throne. He is the master of the shining lure. Mammon doesn't force you to do evil. He simply makes you want more. He is the demon who taught humans to tear open the belly of the earth to find gold and jewels. He represents that bottomless hunger for stuff that eventually consumes the person until there is nothing left but cold, hard metal. If you find yourself obsessed with what you don't have, Mammon is the one whispering in your ear. Moving into the more carnal depths, we meet Asmodeus, the Prince of Lust. He is a prominent figure in the Book of Tobit and the Lesser Key of Solomon. Asmodeus is often depicted with 3 heads, a bull, a man, and a ram, symbolizing fertility, intelligence, and raw aggression. Asmodeus is the destroyer of unions. His goal is to spread chaos through desire, breaking apart families and leading people into obsessive, destructive passions. In ancient lore, he was said to be the one who killed the 7 husbands of Sarah on their wedding nights, until he was finally banished by the angel Raphael. But Asmodeus is more than just a tempter. He is a master of disguise and a king of gambling dens. He represents the heat of the blood that makes a person forget their honor, their family, and their own future for a single moment of pleasure. Then we look to the watery abyss for Leviathan, the prince of envy. Leviathan is unique among the princes because he is often described as a primordial monster rather than a humanoid demon. In many ancient texts, the mouth of the Leviathan is the mouth of hell itself. Leviathan represents envy because of his nature as an outsider. He is the monster that lurks beneath the surface, watching the world above with a bitter, green-eyed gaze. He wants to drag everything down into the cold, dark pressure of the deep. In demonology, Leviathan is the one who tempts people to resent the happiness and success of others. He is the spirit of comparison, the one who makes you feel like you are lacking because someone else has a fuller life. When that bitter feeling of "why not me" starts to boil in your chest, you are feeling the ripples of Leviathan's tail. Fifth in the line is Beelzebub, the lord of the flies and the prince of gluttony. His name is a play on words from the ancient Philistine god, Baal-Zebul. which meant Lord of the Heavenly Dwelling. The Israelites changed it to Beelzebub, meaning Lord of the Dung, to mock the deity. Beelzebub doesn't just represent eating too much food. He represents the decay that follows excess. He is the spirit of too much. Whether it's food, information, or sensation, Beelzebub encourages us to consume until we are sick, until we are bloated, and until we rot from the inside out. He is the patron of the swarms, the insects that come to feast on what is left behind. He represents the loss of self-control, the point where the hunger takes over, and the human being becomes nothing more than a stomach that can never be filled. The sixth prince is perhaps the most clever and the most misunderstood. Belphegor, the Prince of Sloth. You might imagine a demon of sloth as someone who just sleeps all day. But Belphegor is far more dangerous. He is the demon of easy wealth and shortcuts. Belphegor's specialty is inspiring humans with ingenious inventions that promise to make their lives easier. He lures people into laziness by promising them they can get rich or successful without any effort. He is the patron of the get-rich-quick scheme and the miracle cure. By removing the need for work and struggle, he causes the human soul to wither away into nothingness. He sits on his throne, which in some grimoires is literally a latrine, and watches as humanity trades its ambition and its hard-earned progress for the hollow promise of a life with no effort. Finally, we reach the seventh prince, the one whose name has become synonymous with evil itself, Satan, the Prince of Wrath. While Lucifer is defined by his pride, Satan is defined by his rage. In the hierarchy of the seven, Satan is the personification of the fire that consumes all. He represents the blind, unthinking anger that leads to violence, war, and destruction. He is the adversary, the one who wants to tear down everything that has been built. Satan doesn't tempt you with gold or beauty. He tempts you with the desire for revenge. He feeds on the moment your vision goes red and you lose your humanity to your temper. He is the embodiment of the heat of the pit, the friction between souls that causes them to burn one another. He is the final prince because, in the end, wrath is the sin that destroys the sinner as much as the victim. 7 princes, 7 sins, and a hierarchy designed to keep the human soul in chains. Whether you look at these figures as literal demons or as psychological mirrors of our own darkest traits, their legends have shaped our understanding of morality for over 500 years. Which of these legends surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments. I love reading your takes on the lore. If you found this deep dive into the underworld fascinating, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Legends and Lores Mythology, and I'll see you in the next shadow. Stay curious and stay grounded.